And three, two, one. Good morning, guten Tag, Fräulein. How are you guys? I'm back again, and today I'm going to talk about rebound relationships. That's right. Some of you are guilty of doing it, lads and guys and girls, everybody. Some of you are. I'm only fucking with you. Well, actually, I do want to talk about that today, guys. Somebody asked me about this yesterday. So, this lady, she broke up with a guy, and she was going. Was she going out with him again? I'm just trying to remember now. She was engaged to him. That's right. So she was with him for 6 years altogether, and she didn't get into the engagement. As far as I'm trying to remember, I'm just trying to make sure now I'm not keep leaving anything out. She didn't say why they broke up, but they broke up. And she said she was heartbroken. The marriage never went through. But, so they invested 6 years of their life. And she said she met a guy, was it about roughly 6 months afterwards. Okay? So that's right. She was with the guy for 6 years. Roughly after that then, 6 months later, around about that anyway, she met a new guy. And she was with him for about, I think, was it just under a year? We'll call it a year, Jesus. And it didn't work. So then she did say, all right, that, I always wondered, I was never very comfortable in that relationship with that guy for the year, right? And I said, well, you told me you're heartbroken after the other guy, 6 years. And you end up hooking up with a guy 6 months later, and you expect everything's going to be okay? I'm not telling you anything new here, guys. Do you know what I mean? I think everybody knows this. This isn't rocket science here. I'm not reinventing the wheel here, what I'm about to say, or what I am saying. But, I suppose, look, maybe sometimes we just forget, or we get into such a desperate state. And I'm not making fun of her, by the way. I've been in a desperate state in certain things. Maybe we just get into that awful vulnerable, there, maybe that's the right word, vulnerable, desperate state, whatever you want to call it, that you don't see it anymore, whereas everybody else can see it. Oh, listen, it's clear as day, it's logical, blah, blah. But we can't see it. Maybe that's it. And, she asked me yesterday, well, Peter, how many relationships have you had? And I went, oh, actually, I've still got to think. How many have I had? Proper ones I've had, was it again? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I've had 4? Yeah. 4 proper relationships where they could have gone somewhere. Right, that's what I thought anyway. And she said, okay, well, were you heartbroken afterwards? I said, 3 out of the 4, I was. I was very upset. Very upset. And she said, well, what did you do? I said, well, the last thing I'm going to do is go out and get another girlfriend for myself. And she looked at me, right now, this is no joke, guys. She looked at me like I just invented fire. And she saw it for the first time. I said, what? And she looked at me and why would you ever do that to yourself? This almost a disgust look on her face. She couldn't understand why I wouldn't go out and try and get another girlfriend right now. Because I know, look, we all know that saying, well, the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody again. That's complete and utter horseshit. I hate when people say that. Jesus Christ. It's like a pet peeve of mine. The best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody. Is that so? So you're getting under someone because of the last person. So it is about the last person then. Is that what you're telling me? Because that's what it sounds like to me. And first of all, right? Let's walk through this, because I'm even trying to make sense of this, guys. Maybe we can do this together here. Number 1. Let's say you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend right now, or husband or wife, and you're completely over them. When I say completely over them, I'm talking you are the happiest person alive to be out of that relationship. You don't miss them one bit. Let's say it is 100% Done. And you in fact, you don't even think about them once, right? It's the most unbelievable dream scenario breakup. Well, here's a question for you. Why would you want to be jumping into another relationship straight away? Do you know what I mean? No, but like, I mean, that's a good question to ask, right? Like, you've just come out of let's say it's a shitty relationship. And if you don't want to be with, like, if you're over them, that relationship must have been really fucking shit. Right? No matter, whatever the reason why you broke up, but it must have been really fucking shit. So why would you want to jump into another one so soon? What's the fucking rush? Excuse me. And knowing that it's so hard to meet the right person anyway, okay? The chances of you meeting Mr. Dream Scenario or Mrs. Dream Scenario are so fucking slim anyway. Why would you want to be rushing in anyway? And even if you did, how the fuck are you going to find the next person that quick? Are you that lucky? Bullshit, you're that lucky. So you've got those two against you. Number one, you're probably going to be tired and exhausted from it. As in, you know what now? I need time to just cool the jets here. A little bit of time on my own now wouldn't be so bad. Or number two, how are you going to get that lucky? Most people can't even find the right person out there anyway, most of the time. Right? People always say it's so hard out there. But all of a sudden, your next person, your rebound relationship, is the perfect person? Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Right? I mean, people ask me now, how long would you give it? Okay. I honestly think, guys, there's no time limit on this. Some person said to me, oh, well, I normally give it 6 months, Peter. Really? Like, that's it? Like, the day of the 6th month, does that mean you're officially fucking over the person? And that's it? You can move on down the road. Like, go away from me. Come on, seriously. 6 months. What a joke. Right? I mean, I had a horrendous breakup and it took me years to get over her. And honestly, guys, I'm being very truthful here. It took me fucking years to get over her. Right? But you know what I did? Do you know what I did not do? I didn't get into another relationship again until I'm fucking ready. And you know when you're ready, guys, there's no magic time limit here. There's no arrival time into normal again. But what you don't want to be fucking doing is jumping in again. You're using the relationship as a crutch. Okay? You're scratching an itch. Like, you don't want to be scratching an itch. You want to remove the fucking itch. Right? Don't scratch the itch and have another, boyfriend, girlfriend. Remove the fucking itch. Treat the itch. And then, if you do that, you'll have a better outlook on relationships. You'll have a better chance of meeting the right person because you're looking at it without the stupid fucking rebound goggles on. Okay? Because let's be honest, if you're looking for a rebound, anybody will do. Wouldn't you think? Like, hey, go out and shag as many guys or women as you want. Why not? Fuck it. But to go out on a date with a girlfriend, boyfriend with them, give me a break. Like, I mean, I've seen my ex-girlfriend out there, recently. Not recently, jeez. 4 or 5 years ago. But I've seen that girl with about 3 or 4 dudes, right? Hand in hand, and, like, in other words, new boyfriends. And you know what? It didn't upset me, because I knew she's just going from one dude to the next. One dude to the next. I mean, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. And that's no way to live your life. Like, and guys, you should see my social media. I posted this up. There's no one-time thing. There's no magic ingredient. You're certainly going to fuck yourself. And I think this is why you're going to fuck yourself if you get into a relationship with a rebound. Number one, let's say the person looks like your ex. Okay? Okay, now that happens sometimes, right? Sometimes. Number one, you're going to be expecting them to act like your ex because you're trying to, well, replace them with the substitute of you, right? That's what you're going for, the substitute. So you're going to be expecting that they're going to act like you. Or what if they're so like your ex that they actually remind you of your ex, and then you start to take your shit out on them because you're thinking that they're fucking your ex, right? I mean, there's some crazy fuckers out here, right? That might sound like a weird one, but there's some crazy bastards out here, like. What else? If they don't look like your ex, now again, that first one that's like psycho territory, you know what I mean? But hey, that shit happens. Anyway, moving on to other people. All of a sudden, if you're just trying to fill a void, right? Well, how long do you think that filling the void's gonna last? Right? It might help you in terms of, okay, my ego, I've got someone. I got dumped there now for my boyfriend, and you know what? I feel better now, and up his ass. Fuck him. I've got someone else. Okay, so you've scratched your ego. Right. Has it really healed you? How the fuck can that heal you? Your ego is completely different than your emotion. Right? Second of all, if you do have that, you've, let's say again, scratched the itch and you've got this new rebound relationship, right? Okay, things will be okay maybe for a couple of weeks, let's say. But then all of a sudden, you might meet your ex or ex in town somewhere. You might walk past them. All of a sudden, you're back to square one again. You feel like shit, right? Let's say that happens. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to go back to your rebound new boyfriend or girlfriend, and you're going to be expecting them to make you feel better. So you're going to be chasing the drug of scratching the itch, right? Okay, you're going to be looking for, and you'll actually probably obsess with finding things for them to make you feel better. And if they don't make you feel better, then you're going to get narky. You're going to have fights with them. You're going to be pissed off. You're going to be miserable. And worst of all, you're going to be miserable in yourself because deep down you fucking know you're not over your ex. You're not over your ex. I mean, I know one guy, when I was living in LA, right? I was there for 2.5 years in LA. And this guy was a good friend of mine. And I still talk to him every now and then. And he broke up. When I got to LA, I knew him maybe a couple of weeks, right? I was getting to know him. And he said to me, he was living in, he was from Chicago. So he got to LA about 2.5 weeks after he broke up with his longtime girlfriend, right? So he was telling me, the first couple of nights we weren't out drinking or whatever. He goes, yeah, man, I just broke up with a girl. I'm like, oh, right, sorry to hear, man. He goes, yeah, well, look, I wanted to come to LA. She was going to come with me, but, well, obviously, no, we went our separate ways. So I asked him, how long was he with her? And he goes, 4 years. I went, oh, Jesus. Fair enough, man. And he goes, yeah, man, it's been really tough. And this guy, let me tell you guys, this guy was fucked. All right? And then he was one of the first to ever say, well, all it takes, best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody, Pete. I was like, oh, fuck off. So I said, do you really believe that's going to help? And like this guy now, right? He said to me that he was the most loyal guy in the world. I didn't know him before this. But look, I'll take his word. And in fact, he said he was a bit too much because he wanted to spend every breathing minute with his girlfriend. And he just said, look man, yeah, I was too much, to be honest. And I know that now. And this was after a few months. He realized this. And so the guy ends up with this new girl about 2 months after he gets to LA. And I mean, he's coming on intense now, right? I'm like, wow, intense. What the fuck is going on here? So he ends up with this girl. He ends up cheating on her. Doesn't give a fuck. Literally doesn't give a fuck. He was just scratching a fucking itch. Okay? Do you know what it was like? It's like sitting at home with no TV and you're bored, right? And you turn on the fucking radio. You don't like the radio, but you'll just put it on anyway. It's something. I think, honestly, guys, that's a really good way of looking at a rebound, right? You want the TV. The TV entertains you, keeps you happy, but the TV's broken. It's fucked. You can't watch it. and you're sitting there in just awful silence. Okay? The silence is your hurt and your demons, and you want to replace that with something else. And what do? You turn on the radio, and it's the worst radio program you've ever heard in your life, and you've only one radio program, but you'll put up with it anyway. But now, while you put on the radio station, you're not thinking it's the worst radio station in the world, because you're convincing yourself, oh, well, this is good, this is grand, because anything's better than sitting there with your dark demons. It's about facing your demons, guys. Don't have the radio on a shit channel when the TV's broken. Sit there in the silence. Okay? That's what you're doing here. You're not fooling yourself, because you fucking know it yourself. You can try and convince yourself. But is there a solution to all this? No. Guys, it could take you 6 milliseconds, 6 seconds, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 60 hours, 60 days, weeks, years. It could take you God knows whatever time to get over somebody and move on. Took me what, 3 years, I think, to get over my ex. And I'm in no rush to meet a girl. If I met a girl, be wonderful, be great. But I know I'm ready now, and I'd give her my all. I'd give her everything. But back then, no way. I wasn't ready. Not at all. Not at all. Because that's what you got to be, guys. You got to be all in. And a lot of you out there are scratching a fucking itch. You're playing that piece of shit radio station on when you don't even like it in the first place. So, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope that was anyway useful to you. And listen, guys, thanks for listening. And I love you all. I'll be back again. Godspeed to you. Bye.